Hi everybody, this is Debbie from Deb's Thing, and I have a few minutes before I have to go pick my daughter up from her work, and I am going to show you original design I made this afternoon, and I'm calling it Inspired. I think this is an interesting combination of colors, though the glow-in-the-dark purple doesn't show up on the camera screen as well as it does in person, and it was inspired from the bracelet I just posted or just put on YouTube called EYELET. I am in love with this, and it's pretty much almost the same bracelet except that it's got this has a fourth like a D color, so I did add an additional band, but it does not, I mean it's nice, but what I really like about EYELET, as you will read, I am crazy about the reversed side. It is just so cool looking. I would have almost made this, I mean they're equally as great. So anyhow, back to Inspired. For this I will be using for the neon green, which is color A up the middle. I will be using the Sweets pink. For the B, which is the jelly turquoise, going through there, I will be using maroon. The C color, which is the orange, I will be using white. And then for the glow-in-the-dark purple, I will be using the metallic purple. And hopefully, in my mind's eye, I think the color play will be really nice. So hopefully we will see. Okay, so we'll get started by the standard 3-bar staggered position, and we will place one band for your extension later on, and I'm using color A to carry the color through, and we are just going to quickly, as we did, as I did in, what's that one? EYELET. It'll be going up the center. So just do that really quickly, and I'll be back to continue with. Simple enough. Your A color just going straight up to the last pin in the center. Now we will be using our B color on both sides like this, and then we will be alternating as we did in EYELET. We'll be placing the B and the C, and for me it's just easier, it doesn't, because it won't matter, but it's just easier for me just to do one side at a time. So B, C, B, C, and you will do that up to here. You will go B and then C, and then you will take B over to here and no more C's. And if you have trouble remembering that, I will show it to you when we get to that point. So on this side it's going to look the same, so mirror image, so B, C, B, C. So you work on that, and hopefully you'll be done by the time I get back picking up my daughter. I know. I just get foolish sometimes, especially when it gets late. I will be back when I am finished putting my bands on to show you the next step. Here's our loom with the A, B, and C color bands all the way on. And this is how it will end up. You will have the, we'll have placed the B here, then the C's here, C's, and then we'll finish off with a B going to the middle pin right there. Now this is where I saw an option to change up the eyelet bracelet to come up with a completely different looking bracelet, I think. And that is to take a fourth color, D, and place them like this all the way up. If you want, it's simpler to just go up one side, which you will do all the way from this pin to this pin, and then you will do it also on this side. Just be consistent, always starting on one side and finishing with the other. That way when you're looping them back, that will also be consistent. We are now ready to start looping back our loom. This is what it looks like with the D-color bands, and we will of course need to cap this last post here before we can start the looping. See, I'm sorry, thumb doesn't want to cooperate. So you just double it up however way you want, so that it wraps around this peg twice, and we turn it around, and it is similar also to the looping back of the eyelet bracelet, where we are going to reach in, grab color B, and do it on both sides. Hold down the cap if necessary, and then bring your A band up. I just saw something else which I'm going to try later and see what it comes up. I just saw something different that I might do for another bracelet design. So now you're going to take your C color and bring it up. As you I'm assuming you've already done eyelet, so I'm sorry, but it's this B band, instead of breaking it, it comes from the middle pin right here. We're not bringing it back to its home pin. We're bringing it straight up from this pin to that pin. And then the B band we will be bringing to the middle as opposed to its home. Then we are going to reach in and grab the D band. Okay, and I don't want to grab two. Sometimes it's a little hard to see where it is. These thicker bands, okay. And those will indeed go back to their home pin. Okay, so that was the setup, and from now on until we get to the very end, the sequence will be the same. Your first step is to go and grab that A band, bring that straight up. Then the C bands, bring those straight up, not to their home pin. The B bands we bring to the middle. And then the D bands to their home pin. Okay. Okay, I'll show you one or two more times so you've got the rhythm. Bring the A straight up. And next is the C, which you bring straight up, not back to the center peg pin. And then you reach in and grab the B and bring it to the center pin, not its home pin. And then you reach in for the D color and bring that to whence it came, back to its home pin. Okay, I'll do it one more time and then I think you should have the hang of it. Reach in and grab the A. That's the first thing you do. Second is grab the C. And bring it straight up as opposed to going back. So it's going to be this from here to here. And then you do it on the other side. And then you reach in and get the B color and bring it to the center. So now this one is going from here to here. Do it on its other side, on the other side. And then reach in, grabbing your D colored bands and bringing them back to their home pins. Okay, well, that's not quite halfway through, but all the way up until, let's see, until, you know, you get to about this pin, and when it looks like the pattern won't be able to repeat itself, you can either, you know, figure out on your own how to loop those last few bands, or wait till about a split second when I restart the video and continue on. This certainly makes a pretty design pattern on the loom, that's for sure. So now that we have all this done, let's finish our extension. We've got the one band here, so it's a little bit easier to just pull it out and slip the other half on. Turn the hook upside down and pull it through, the band through. Turn your hook upside up and place the other half of the band on. I use a total of 10 for most of my bracelets. I find that's fairly good for my wrist, and I do have a smaller wrist, not a tiny one, but a smaller one. And on, like, especially the really tightly woven bracelets, like especially when you're only using 2 bars, sometimes you need a couple extra. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this manner of looping here, it gets easier with time, or with practice, I should say, not with time. If you don't practice, doesn't matter how much time. Oh my gosh, these are really, really hard. Cannot stick my fingers through there. So I will do what I can. Did it. Got it on. Okay. Now this one, as with the eyelet, I will be pulling it off instead of, you know, releasing it. So I just really think I'm going to have to practice, I guess, maybe make extra bands, but I like the way these were spread out. Well, this is the eyelet. There were, you know, less bands, so sometimes they stretch out more, and I think it makes a better pattern. And I think if I pulled these off first, and, you know, if I have the hand strength, if I don't have the hand strength, I'm always forced to pull them off first, but I think it probably would have been a little if I hadn't pulled it off by hand, you know, pulling it straight down the middle and eased off each these outer pins first, it probably would have looked closer like this. These probably would have been more, a little tighter. So anyways, let's go for it. Ow. I already can tell I'm loving the colors. It's amazing. Like, I'm just looking at the reverse real quick here. I mean, this looks nicer as a you know, a reversible color, a reversible side than this. Probably just the colors make it look a little nicer, but here you go. This is what it looks like, and I really like it. I like the subtlety, but possibly maybe a pink instead of the maroon against the purple. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're rambling on. Okay, as I was saying, the reverse of this one I just finished I think looks nicer. Of course, it's got more elevation as you look from the side, but that's because of the thicker bands I used. So it's option for a reversible. It doesn't look really bad. And I really like these colors here. I think though that if I had done a brighter color than the pink up the center and used the pink where the maroon is, maybe just switch them, or used a more popping color like this, you know, like a not using the neon green, but maybe yellow or something really bright up the center. So it's hard to appreciate the pink, but nevertheless, I really love this design. I'm very pleased with how it came out. And so now let's finish it off, and I will try to stay on the center of the camera here. We will place however many extensions we need to complete it. I will be placing 4, and the cap here, which I stretch over this last pin, counts as number 5. Yeah, these sweets are nice, but they're awfully tight and they do not have a lot of elasticity. If they require any stretching, they just bust. So I think you really have to consider where you're going to use the sweets, unless they come up with another form, to make them more stretchy. But I think it probably has something to do, I don't know, the glitter gold and the glitter white seem to have a lot more stretch. I think it must be a combination of the sparkles in here and the two-toneness. I don't know. Then some of the other two tones have more stretch. I don't know what it is about these. Okay, sorry. This time the center of my frame is like right almost on the edge of the table. Usually it's way in the middle, but I have a really weird setup, and the camera above me kind of shifts itself. So here we have, oh, this is called Inspired. I always do this late at night. I'm too tired in the morning. I won't get into why. Tired all day, but when my brain finally kind of wakes up, it's time to go to bed again. So here we have Inspired, which was inspiring. If you like this video, like this bracelet rather, and like the design, feel free to like me and share it with your friends. I am on Instagram, which is #DebsThing, or a hashtag and the name of the bracelet. Like this would be hashtag inspired. And if you'd like to see more of my upcoming videos, feel free to subscribe to Deb's Thing. Thank you very much for watching.